I'll leave you this. I'm talking way too long, but one of the things that's that I learned through doing this is that I have been challenged by lots of people on things that I thought I understood and knew quite well, and I was not wrong because I was wrong. I was wrong because I was wrong in the sense that I have a deeper appreciation of what it means to believe something different than I do. I've developed a sense of respect for people that I don't agree with that I never thought I would. Because I look at people who say and do and act out ways that are so important to them and so meaningful to them that you can't help but respect them. And I live in a world with declining morals and values, and you watch people think more and more about themselves and what they want to make them happy. And I've actually grown to really appreciate people who stand for anything good. You know, because character's slipping out through our fingers. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to correct you on something, because you were talking about the abortion issue, and you said you respect the right of a woman to something about a woman's body or something, and it is proven that a baby, whether you're talking about a week after conception or at any point after conception, it's a separate life form. It's separate DNA. The blood does not intermingle with the mother's blood. It's different blood. That's why Jesus' blood is holy, by the way. But it's a different life form. It is not her. And the government's role is to protect life. So my question, I guess if this is a question, is if you have a moral conviction that that's wrong, how can you separate that when, like let's say they pass a bad law about rape in a state, in Virginia, said, well, it's okay for somebody to rape somebody. And then would you accept the defense? Well, that's her body; she can do what she wants with her body to that child is too little to.
I trust you in this group to make that argument. I'm not interested in seeing the government pass laws like
Well, what if that's a bad law? I mean, we have thousands of years of human history acknowledging, that is an immoral thing to do, to murder a child. And think about yourself. I mean, everything you said here tonight about everything, any issue, is irrelevant if we don't get to.
And I believe that for a lot of people it is, but I do think the way I think, and I respect what you think, and that's why I'm here.
Where do you stand on partial birth?
I think it's wrong.
Partial birth. Would you vote in favor of restricting them?
No, the way the law is now is the way I would support it, and it is restricted.
Okay, so using the argument against the abortion, you want to see the government pass a law to regulate a person. You could say that with farmers, they should have no dealing with farmers at all. They should set their own milk price. If we have to pay $5 a gallon or $10 a gallon for milk, we pay it. Or, I mean, you could use that with any law.
And wasn't Roe v. Wade a real stretch of the interpretation? It's right up there with the Dred Scott decision.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it is for a lot of people. For me, I know where I stand, and I appreciate what you do. I think it's easy to I understand exactly, because I've been through this for a long time. People that agree with you, many people agree with you. I don't want the government involved in my decisions like that, or my wife's decisions.
No, I just want to point out that that's where we are now. The government made a bad ruling, and now millions of people are being affected by the government instead of being. Up until 1973, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And our country is.
It wasn't until they got involved.
I mean, they got involved, and now we have so much involvement, they take your life away. I mean, it's
yeah, that's the reverse side
and
of
if two
this.
people make a mistake,
Sure.
why do you punish them? That's like when I'm being punished with taxes for my
There are lots of
children.
people who believe exactly like you do, and there's a lot of people who believe like I do, and it's one of those things you kind of have to agree to disagree. I'm not
I'm
saying.
not trying to argue with you.
Yeah, no,
about
and I
it.
respect that. Listen, I'm standing here, you're not. You've got a right to do what you want with it. I respect it.
I just want you to understand
I
that
hear
there are a
you.
lot of
Yeah,
questions that may have a problem.
And I don't stand in a building like this thinking that I'm gonna be welcomed for that attitude. I know that. You have to try to remember though, I brought it up. You didn't bring it up, and you didn't ask me. I'm not.
We would have.
I wasn't going to.
Sure, somebody would, I suppose it's true. But you know, as a father of 2 kids who's never been more happy in his life, the idea, for me personally, is just,
But what if your wife had decided she wanted that abortion? It's her body.
well, you know, we were married, we have to talk about it. I
But
don't
what
know.
if she decided in the end it's her body?
I can't speculate without her here. But, you know, I know what you're saying, and I understand where you're going. Please don't be angry with me
We're
for
just,
what I feel.
you know.
No, that's all right.
We're glad you're honest.
Yeah.
And we're passionate about it, but we're also passionate about the government staying on every aspect of our life, from the milk prices to the border. I mean,
Yeah, that's why.
they're there to protect our individual rights, and that's it. What's stated in that Constitution, and that is it. Stay out with the rest.
We appreciate you.
And I think a lot of
No,
people
and I
are.
agree with that. I think the government is way too
I
involved
think
in
a
our
lot
lives.
of people are just.
And that's why things are shutting down. The number one thing that's wrong with this country today, and you're gonna find this, maybe surprising, maybe obvious, it's not money, it's not that it's not the bailouts, it's not this thing, it is confidence. We have lost confidence in our government. So people don't invest, they are afraid, they retract, and if I'm a business guy, I got a plan. If I don't plan, I lose, and I go broke. And that's what's going on now. You see people shutting down and protecting their homes and their property as they see them. They're just not expanding. Well, what do you get? New York State, we all know we're victims. We're just waiting to find out how much this year. And we know it'll be more next year. Because what the state doesn't understand is that you can't build a wall around New York. We're free agents. This is the 50th or 49th least competitive place in the country. All the other things are in place too to make it a bad place. Nobody trusts this government anymore, so why would you invest in it?
Any more questions?
I just want one clarification. Did I understand you to say that you think that the healthcare bill can be amended or corrected? Or
I don't know, but I'd like to look into that. I think that by and large, most people would like to see it repealed, and I think if you can't fix it, it's absolutely the way to go. And I'm very cynical about our ability to fix it. And I do not accept what they say, and what my opponent says is something's better than nothing.
I read the bill. It's not good.
I have a loaded question, I guess. Actually, I really like the information because you're kind of.
I have a website, you can kind of go there and
Yeah, it's
Out
really
there,
good.
like nasty stuff or whatever.
Are we going to have depression? I mean, because being retired, my 401k got shot in the foot.
Yeah. Well, I
You
think,
know, I mean, I don't know which way to turn. I think,
well, that's what happened last week,
you
or
know,
2 weeks ago.
this
They stopped writing unemployment checks, right?
Yeah.
And it went.
It's already hit too.
So what does that
We've
mean?
been told no.
And you know, there's 2 sides to that argument, and they're both easy to make. But we don't have a depression now, not because the economy doesn't want it, but it's because we have this enormous set of safety nets that are built into the system, like Social Security, like Medicare, Medicaid, all these different programs that help people, and it kind of hides the effects of, it hides the reality. But you can't do that forever.
They're gonna fall off the tightrope one of these days.
What happens is every time there's an economic downturn like this,